Hey Connor,
Hey Josh.
what did the traffic light say to the car?
I don't know.
Don't look, I'm about to change. Good morning, Sandpoint High School. Today for lunch is a tuna fish hoagie and tater tots. That's a good meal, Addie.
Yes, it is, Josh. There is JV boys and girls soccer at Stillwater Christian. Games begin at 2, bus departs at 9 a.m., and dismissal is at 8:50.
Also, remember that the bookkeeper's office will be closed tomorrow.
It's a Go Dog Day!
I'm Mike Smith, and you're watching The Harbor. A recent study showed that 59% of teens' biggest stress in life was time management and balancing all the different activities that you have going on throughout the day. So because of stress, 40% of you have reported to neglecting responsibilities at home, while 32% of you said that you actually get physical headaches, and 26% of you have reported sleep loss, all due to the stress of time management. So to deal with that stress, 46% of you play video games, and another 43% of you spend time on social media, both things that have absolutely nothing to do with being productive. A friend once asked me, if I could live yesterday over again, what would I do differently? And as I look back on my life, especially when I was in high school, one of the things that I was the worst at was time management. You know, I was that kid that didn't prioritize. Whenever my friends were hanging out, that's what I was doing. And if one group wasn't hanging out, I'd go find another group that was hanging out, and I pretty much did whatever I could to neglect responsibilities. I would be the kid that was typically doing my homework at 11:30 or midnight, or staying up pulling all-nighter studying for a test because I hadn't prepared the week before. And looking back at high school, this lack of time management, it cost me big time. My grades suffered. I wasn't accepted into the college that I wanted to go to, all because I didn't manage my time wisely. You know, as I've gotten older, I've realized time management is one of the most important things that we have. You know, we've all got the same 24 hours in a day. And we see that post all the time. It might be a cliche, but it's true. You know, time, you can't buy any more of it. It's more precious than gold or silver, and it's the one thing that we can never get back. And I can tell you how your days start. You know, most of you, your alarm goes off, you hit snooze once, maybe twice, then you grab your phone, you load Facebook, you check Instagram, you're on Snapchat. I mean, you've wasted time before your feet have even hit the ground. You know, I talk to kids every day. I get hundreds of emails, and students ask me all the time, you know, how do you be successful? You know, people think there's this magic pill that you can take, and it's just not true. There's no magic pill out there. I honestly think the key to success is how you spend your time. So for those of you struggling with time management, here's a few tips. First of all, you've got to start with the end in mind. You know, most of you guys, you're running 100 miles an hour in a million directions and you have no idea where you're going. You've got to visualize where you're going before you can take the first step. And I think next, it's really important for us to pay attention to how we actually spend our time. If we were to document the things that we do throughout a day. I mean, did you know that most of us check our phones 1,500 times a week? I mean, think about how much time it takes for us to get ready in the morning. How much time do we spend in front of the mirror? How much time do we spend on Snapchat? How much time do we spend playing video games? How much time do we spend binge watching our favorite shows on Netflix? I think if we're gonna balance time management, we first have to understand how we actually spend our time. And next, I think you've got to make a plan. You know, instead of running around aimlessly, not sure what direction you're headed, sit down and actually make a plan. You've got to prioritize. And you know those things that were once a distraction? Don't let those distract you. Use those as a reward. You know, do 45 minutes of homework, and then once you achieve that, then play video games for 15 minutes. And as you're planning out your day, you've got to recognize when you're most productive. You know, for some of you, it's waking up before school and getting all your work done. You know, some of you work better after school, and for people like me, you know, I work better at night. I think as you plan your day, it's really important to evaluate when you are most productive. And I think lastly, we've got to be proactive with our time. There are so many people out there who act like time or life just happened to them. They go days, weeks, months, years without paying attention to the way that they're investing their time, and then they're stuck in a job that they hate, or they're stuck in some sort of life that they don't want to be in, and the reason why is they didn't pay attention to how they spent their time. One of my favorite quotes is this tattoo on my forearm. And this tattoo right here says, "As for me, I choose to live and love life so aggressively that even death trembles to take me." And the reason that I have that is it's a constant reminder for how I spend my time. I don't want to look back on my life and regret the way that I spent my hours, regret the way that I spent my time. I want to look back and be proud of the things that I've done. So my question for you guys is simple. If you could live yesterday over, what would you do differently?